Thank you for listening to Pow Block Podcast, the flagship Nintendo podcast of Boss Rush Network. Do you need even more gaming and entertainment in your life? Head over to bossrush.net where you can find news, reviews, creators, podcasts, and more focused around the content you enjoy.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Pow Block, episode 272. I am your substitute host, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the gallivanting Galatrat himself, Jacob Taylor.
Hey, what's going on, Corey?
Those flowing locks, Jacob.
Dude, I know.
You are a beautiful man.
A little long. Thank you.
I don't care what anybody says. You are a beautiful man.
Yeah, thank you.
And I wish I had the ability to have hair like that. This is why this hat is glued to my head.
Well, if I ever cut it, you'd be like 13th in line of people who have asked me to donate it to them. So
that would be amazing. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll take 13th place.
13 times from now. It's coming.
Also, joining us is the Shin Megami Tensei sufferer, a.k.a. the indie insider himself, Dan Murphy.
I've only been suffering for about a week, so it's great.
It's okay. I look at that game and I'm like, I want to play it really bad. But then I just see your long lines of tweets and I'm like, this game scares me. But guys, we have a special guest tonight. All the way from the Gossip Stones podcast, which, Dan, I think you were a guest on yesterday?
I was very recent, yep.
Yeah. Lulu from Gossip Stones, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the party.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Gossip Stones and what you guys talk about? Because it's a very fun show.
Okay. So my co-host Judy and I, we talk basically about all sorts of games. We joined together just from a random post. I was like, I want to make a podcast, and she was like, do it. And so we joined together, and we just did our 8th episode, which is actually our first season finale. But we just we talk a lot about Zelda. We're both in Zelda Dungeon. That's how we met. And so we just talk about Zelda and Animal Crossing and all the games that we like. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, good. You'll fit in real well here. Zelda and Animal Crossing. I feel like that happens a lot around here too. So, well, we're happy to have you on. This is exciting. We rarely have like a guest, like someone that's like kind of outside of our realm of friends. So we're excited to have you on.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'd like to start off with a little tradition that Ed and Celeste decided to create, and now it's just a staple. People are here for it. It's called Snacktendo. Jacob, what are you snacking on? What's the snack of the week?
I had somebody brought today to work peanuts that were like, you know how like you can make like chocolate covered peanuts? These were chocolate and peanut butter covered peanuts. So it was like you ate a Reese's, but then the Reese's had peanut butter in it, or peanuts in it. And they were like little clusters. They weren't like little cups. They were little clusters. And I had like 4 of those because it was really hard for me to not go back and get more because I love Reese's.
Reese's.
Don't start this.
It's Reese's.
It's Reese's.
It's Reese's.
It's not Reesee. No. This must be like a northeastern thing, because I think Stephanie says Reese's too. It's like, no, it's Reese's. Reese's.
It's just a normal person thing. Reese's Pieces, and Reese's.
No,
this is what it is.
It's Reese's Pieces.
This is objective. This isn't something to debate.
You're right. This is objective. It's Reese's.
Even
I'm not having this argument anymore. I'm so
You just
tired
have to
of-
listen to the commercial because they sing Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
Ooh.
And then
Peanut butter
there you
chocolate.
go.
Well, they hired
Yes.
the wrong people because it's supposed to be Reese's Puffs.
They hired
Well-
Sane.
You're going to have to take that up with them.
I will.
also their colors are orange, brown, and yellow, so I don't know how much I really trust that. So
Well, that's your football team too, right?
I know. Guess what? I don't trust my football team to do anything right.
It's-
They almost lost
all-
to the Lions this
all
week.
they're good at is disappointment. That's,
Yeah.
it's all orange, brown, and yellow.
I mean,
Does.
yeah, the Browns are very. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
My football team's 8-1, so
I know, and you almost beat us. We only won
in a-
by 3 points. We were the division favorite this year.
yep.
Oh, and then last week against the Patriots, I didn't hear enough of it from Stephanie. God.
My football team is 700-0 because I don't have one, so they always win.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't know a thing about the sports ball. In other snack sort of news, but not really, is I got another G Fuel shaker because I have a problem. Not sponsored by G Fuel, hope to one day be, but this is like the 15th shaker that I've gotten from them. I have so many, and I don't know why, because they're basically all the same cup. They're just colored differently, but I love this one. It's like Easter. And just really nice and colorful, and I love
It
it.
looks like the Dodo Airlines shirt.
It does. Oh my
Yeah.
god, you're right. Oh my god. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it. I didn't spend money on it because I got it because of points, their reward system. But like, yeah, every time they'll release like a new flavor, and I'm like, whatever. But they'll be like, and here's this $10 shaker, and I'm like, oh, but that I have to have. It's like, I don't know what my problem is, but it's there.
Fun. I'm sure if you reached out to G Fuel, they would be more than happy to sponsor you. I feel like
don't think so.
I bet they would. I'm going to reach out to them for you, Jacob. Okay.
Or like the Tunic of the Wild. Yeah, that's right. It also has a little bit of a Zelda color to it.
Champions tunic.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, G Fuel, sponsored Boss Rush Network. We have like 30 different podcasts, I think. Every show has a G Fuel ad.
Look,
All for you.
we only have 8.
8.
Okay. Ish.
But we have affiliates though, or like we have other content creators, don't we?
I know, but I'm just okay.
It's good. I'm not knocking us, Corey. It's good. We have a lot of awesome and amazing people that are really passionate.
We
that wanna
do.
talk about the things they're passionate about, and that's awesome.
We do. It's exciting. It is. I'm happy. Also, LaRon made me stay up all night the other night to make him After Dark assets, so that was fun. Dan, what are you snacking on? I saw you eating an ice cream sandwich earlier. That looked pretty good.
This is my new thing: is Klondike ice cream sandwiches. I never really eat ice cream or ice cream sandwiches, but all of a sudden I'm super into these, and I don't know why.
Let me give you a hint. They're delicious.
They are. They're amazing.
I
I'm
didn't
addicted.
get this body shape by not eating those. Okay.
Fair.
It's very,
Well, I mean, I think the world has to know, Dan. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
That's an off-air topic.
That's LaRon's second episode of After Dark.
What would all members of Boss Rush do for a Klondike bar? Fun stuff.
Lulu, what are you snacking on?
I'm glad you asked because we were debating earlier. Reese's Trees.
Good. good.
All of the like holiday Reese's are just the bomb. They have the perfect chocolate to peanut butter ratio, and so you just can't go wrong with those.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, they really do. The all of them, the pumpkin ones especially, I think they have
Yes.
a little bit because they don't have like the curves of the trees.
Mhm.
But like it's something's different about them for sure. Something is different about the holiday Reese's versus the regular Reese's.
Yep.
I don't know if like maybe it's just because they're like a little bit softer. The chocolate's a little bit easier to chew. But they are wonderful.
It could also be the molding, like the molds that they use to make them, because they're not just they're not the cups that like the weird shapes get to like they just hold more like of the chocolate and it just mixes it up better, right? Because like
Yeah.
the cups. Granted, I'm not a peanut butter guy, but like the cups, like it's just this shape and it's like a little cupcake kind of paper fold, and then you get chocolate and peanut butter nastiness swirled up in there. But then when you get the nice holiday molds, they just hold more, and then when you bite down, you get more, and then it just fills your mouth with more deliciousness. That's all. It's the mold.
Also, Aaron in the chat said there should be turkey shaped Reese's, and there's not, and there should be.
He's
I agree with that.
absolutely right.
You know what they should do? They should do like the tail in like Reese's Pieces.
Don't.
I said it like that
had
just to
me.
make him upset.
You had me. That is like I've never thought that I had a pet peeve before, but that is absolutely my pet peeve.
Now, is it a pet peeve because it's a pet peeve, or is it a pet peeve because it's just like this joke now? That
No, so Rebellity said it in the chat. Like I got legitimately upset with her because she said Reese's Pieces. I did not. I mean, I jokingly threatened to dump her. I would not have dumped her over it. But it really bothers me. It'd be one thing. Like I think there's that whole thing with Fruit Loops where like people have attempted to sue them because there's no actual fruit in Fruit Loops, but they get away with it because it's spelled F-R-O-O-T. But Pieces is a word. It's not. They didn't make it up. It's not.
It's a name. It's a Reese's Pieces. They like the rhyming.
Oh.
Looks like
It's not a piece of a Reese.
It's a piece of a Reese's.
Looks like we know what the title of the episode is called. Reese's Pieces.
It won't even make sense because it reads as pieces. People will just be like, why are they talking about candy?
I'm gonna spell it wrong. It'll be all right.
That, or I think this is like the fourth show that we've had this conversation. So that, or people will be like, oh, this again.
Oh man. So, man, since I've been on last, since I was on last, I started a new job, and I love the job. It's great. But one of the best things and the worst things about this job is that on like every other table in the office, there is a bowl of candy, just all kinds of candy, like Starburst and Tootsie Rolls and Suckers and Jolly Ranchers. And then you go in the break room and there's just chips and Funyuns and Pringles and popcorn. And it's like, what are you doing to me? I'm already large. I'm going to gain weight. And guess what? Guess who's gained weight? This guy. You know why? Because every time I walk by one of them darn bowls, family show, I pick up a Starburst or a Tootsie Roll or a Jolly Rancher every time. I can't help myself.
I feel you, man. It's so easy, and like you grab it, and you, as a fellow large person, you grab it, and you're like, I'll just put this on my desk. I'll save it for later, but like inevitably, it's gone before you even get back to your
Or
desk.
what you do is you say, I'll grab one. And then you go back. You go out of your way to go back to the bowl and say,
Yep.
"Oh,
Yep.
Starburst. Is there a pink one? Is there a red one in there?" And you shuffle through all the yellow ones because nobody wants the yellow ones. And you're like, "Ah, at least I found orange."
So fun fact, I'm actually not able to eat pink Starbursts. So if you ever want pink Starbursts, hit me up in those little mini
Why?
packets. Because I'm really allergic to strawberry to the point where like even artificial strawberry flavors really mess with me up a lot.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So,
not fun. That's not a fun fact.
Naturally, when I open up Starbursts, I inevitably get at least one pink in the little like dual packs. So I always have to give them away.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
sad.
The pink is
Yeah.
the best one.
I think yellow is.
Pink and red.
Pink and red. Thank you, Dan. I'll agree with you on one half of the words you said tonight. Oh, man. But yeah, man, there's just snacks everywhere at my new job, and I love it and hate it at the same time. So, all right, it is time for the fun Game Fact Advance. Jacob, what is tonight's Game Fact Advance?
Yeah, so with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out, I thought it'd be fun to get a Pokemon-based Game Fact Advance. Everybody knows about most of the legendaries, if not all of them. A couple of them, the obvious ones, fan favorites, Mewtwo,
Don't forget Articuno.
Entei, Articuno, Zapdos. A lot of the earlier ones for sure, big fan favorites. One of them, however, wasn't even originally designed for the Pokemon games. Lugia, a big fan favorite. Lugia was actually the central character made for the Pokemon film, Pokemon the Movie 2000. It was created by Takeshi Shudo and drawn by Ken Sugimori. Takeshi Shudo, I believe, the director of Pokemon the Movie, on a lot of the Pokemon movie animations. And it was never intended to be it was like just for the movie. Like that was the way he kind of designed it. It was like, this is my Pokemon, it's fine. And then like inevitably everyone really liked Lugia, and so they kind of took it and made it became a version mascot for Pokemon Silver and its remake Pokemon Soul Silver, and one of the most loved legendary Pokemons of all times. Another fun fact about Lugia is that interestingly, there's been two versions of Lugia. There's that one, which is the main one. And then there's like a dark Lugia that was made for the Pokemon Coliseum games. It was created by the artist who was the lead artist on Pokemon Sword and Shield. And like Nintendo and Pokemon Company refuse to acknowledge that Pokemon Coliseum exists. But like they have the guy who created Dark Lugia on I'm sorry, I think it was Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. But they have like the guy who made that Pokemon that's like the head artist for the Pokemon now, and he like constantly talks about on Twitter about like, hey, I made this thing, don't forget about it, it's here. And it's kind of funny and kind of sad because his work isn't being recognized, even though it's awesome. So yeah, fun little Pokemon fact for you there.
Nice.
Even though nobody else on this panel cares about Pokemon.
I didn't say I didn't care about Pokemon. I said I'm not currently playing Pokemon. I'm waiting for Pokemon Legends Arceus to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or a real Red and Blue remake. Look at you,
Not
Let's
Let's
Go,
Go.
Pikachu.
I didn't like Let's Go.
I didn't either, but I also still own it because I think it's a game my daughter will be into someday. So it's
Yeah,
still
for sure.
around, unfortunately. So, all right. Well, that was a great Game Fact Advance. So hold on. Before we get into family news, that wasn't the one that was in the anime, like the original opening to the anime, was it? Because one of the Pokemon that wasn't in Red or Blue was in the opening of the anime.
That's Ho-Oh. That's
Oh.
Lugia's like counterpart is
Okay.
Ho-Oh, and that's why like So me personally, I absolutely adore Gen 1 and Gen 2. I adore all of the generations, but Gen 1 and Gen 2 are my favorite, and I give Gen 2 a pass because like I feel like if Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow weren't successful, they still would have made Gold and Silver as like their last like, all right, if it doesn't get it with this one, then we won't do it anymore because of the fact that Ho-Oh was featured in the anime and like they had designs for those Pokemon already. So I feel like they were working on them already, even though it hadn't become a blowout success that it did become.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was one in the opening of the anime that was not part of Red and Blue. Because that really bothered me. I'm like, who is that? And then I never moved on. So.
You want to know what's really annoying? Sorry to keep bringing up Pokemon stuff, but I'm pretty sure in the anime, they like in the second episode, they like try to hide the fact that it's Ho-Oh by being like, Ash talks to Professor Oak and he's like, I'm pretty sure the Pokemon you saw was Zapdos or something, like one of the legendary birds that are actually in Red, Blue, and Yellow. And it's like very obviously not Zapdos or Moltres or Articuno, whichever one they saw. But it man, that episode annoys me to this day.
Man, I watched a lot of the Pokemon anime. Man, that the episode where he lets Butterfree go.
That's a tearjerker.
Tears, guys. Real hard tears cried. Anyway, speaking of crying tears, it's time for Family News.
There you go.
Did I do it? I did it right? Like Ed does? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes! Dan, you've got the news this week. Take it away.
All right.
Yes, nailed it.
Starting it off with this week's releases, we got Death's Door coming on Tuesday. Let's Sing 2022 is coming out on Tuesday. And then a couple of indies are coming out on Friday. One is called Cabin Fever. This is an off-the-grid romantic visual novel. And Little Bug is a adventure platformer about a girl and her spirit light. I am definitely picking up Death's Door. Are you guys interested in any of those games?
Death's Door is awesome. If you are a top-down Zelda fan, but you like harder action games, I'm trying to avoid the Souls-like genre name drop because it's not really that, but it's pretty much a harder top-down Zelda. It is awesome. It's been out on Xbox for a while. It's you play this little, I think it's a raven or a crow, and you're kind of going through, and it's you're just kind of going through and kind of, I think you're creating a path for people who have lost their souls or something. I forget what the real story is, but it's really awesome. The art design is awesome. The combat's really fun. Everybody who owns a Switch should be buying this game.
That sounds fun.
High praise. All right, so first news up is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It just released on Friday. The public seems to be split on the art style, and the reviews ranged from about 5 out of 10 to 9 out of 10. We've already talked a lot about Pokemon on this episode already, but have you guys been playing this game, or do you plan on picking it up? And we'll kick it off with Jacob, who attempted to stream this game for 24 hours over the weekend, but only got through 30 hours. So how do you feel about it, Jacob?
I love it. I created a second account on my Switch so that I could continue to play and not like mess up my stream file. Yeah, no, I absolutely adore it. I love the chibi art style. Let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee. I love that art style. That's like peak Pokemon art style for me. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. It's very glitchy apparently. Like there's apparently already been a glitch found that lets you just like skip half the game and get to the end. Yeah, which is very reminiscent of older Pokemon games, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. But no, it's great. The music, all of the music is an absolute bop. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun attempting to beat the game all in one go under like extra difficulty settings. But I ended up just getting too tired after almost 30 hours.
Understandable. Lulu, are you in a Pokemon series, or do you plan on playing this one?
I have played Emerald before, and I watched early Pokemon days, like the show, but I am not a huge Pokemon fan, and I hope nobody at ZD is listening because they're all like Pokemon fans there.
I can feel David shaking his fist at the screen or his phone wherever he's listening to this right now. Sorry, David. Failed you.
Corey, how about you?
So I'm not like the biggest Pokemon fan. The thing is, it's not that I don't like the idea of Pokemon. I actually love the idea of Pokemon, but there's just so many now, right? And that's why I was kind of excited when Let's Go came out, and it was just the original 151, and you just kind of roamed around to catch them, and it was kind of like a nice trip down memory lane, although I wanted a little bit more action in it, right? But these games are like, I'm glad the remakes are being made, especially for generations that, you can't really find them or play them a lot easy anymore. The thing is I'm ready for the Breath of the Wild style Pokemon game where you're kind of just going out and exploring. And I know Pokemon Legends Arceus isn't really that, but it looks close enough to that to where like that's where I think I want to jump back into Pokemon. But I don't know, somewhere after Gold and Silver, I kind of got tired of this formula of Pokemon where you're just kind of going from city to city, fighting the gyms and stuff. I know that this generation has a lot of nostalgia going for it, as each generation does with specific people, but I think I'm going to sit this remake out and wait for the next kind of big title.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I played Red and Blue, and I feel like after that, everything kind of seemed the same, but the Pokemon were unfamiliar. So I was kind of just like, I don't know. I'm not going to be into this.
Yeah, I think that's where I was at, where like I played so much of Red and Blue. Like I played Red and Blue all the way through, catching all 150 Pokemon, trading with friends and stuff. I played so much Red and Blue that by the time Gold and Silver came out, like you said, it just felt like more of the same with unfamiliar monsters that I was not attached to at all. And I just, I didn't want to do that. I wanted my Pokemon, And you could trade yours from the old games and stuff, whatever. But it's just like, I wanted my Charizard. I wanted my Pikachu. I wanted my Scyther. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted my Pokemon, and these were not it.
Yeah. I mean, so I actually, watching like Jacob's stream and stuff, like I think the art style looked really cool, and it seemed to have that Pokemon charm that Sword and Shield didn't really have, that caught my eye. So I ended up picking it up. I don't know when I'm going to play it. So we'll see. But just a couple of comments from the chat too. Aaron says he's actually playing it while he listens to this podcast, and Rebellity says this is the best Switch Pokemon game she's played, and it's a remake. So lots of mixed Pokemon feelings here.
What other games are on Switch right now? It's Sword and Shield was the other big one, right? Yeah,
Sword and Shield, Let's Go,
and Pokemon Snap, if you count that as like an actual Pokemon game.
Yeah, and Mystery Dungeon too.
Oh yeah, there's so much Pokemon already. I forgot Mystery Dungeon came out because it came out like 2 months after Sword and Shield, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember it coming out.
Or was it right after Let's Go?
No, did it come out this year? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even play it.
Who knows? Who's to say?
Anyway, next up, we got earlier in this week, Nintendo's former VP of Marketing, Perrin Kaplan, did an interview with VGC, and they spoke about the GameCube and its launch 20 years ago. Kaplan had mentioned that Nintendo America was nervous about GameCube being the color purple and that they had suggested a black or silver version. At the time, Hiroshi Yamauchi was president, and he shot the black and silver version down. So how do you feel about the GameCube and its purple color? And do you think if Iwata was the president, he would have taken the suggestion in a different way? Corey, start it off.
I love the purple GameCube. It is iconic. Let me ask you guys something. When you think of the GameCube, what color do you think of?
Black.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to ask real fans. Lulu, Dan, what color do you think of?
It's purple.
Purple.
Purple. Thank you. Also, I don't know why they made purple a big color when the Super Nintendo had purple on it. Like, I feel like if you're thinking about Nintendo, the first color you think of is red, and the second color you think of is purple. Like, I feel like those are the two colors you think of with Nintendo. And maybe I'm just old. Maybe that's just whatever. But I love the purple GameCube. I still have my purple GameCube. I got it for my birthday, the year it came out, I guess. And I remember I got that, and I got the bright orange controller as a second controller. And I mean, I don't know. I guess you could think of the purple GameCube as like not what did they say in the interview? It's not masculine enough or whatever to appeal to the teen kids of that day or whatever. But like
They thought it was going to be too feminine for the American audience.
Yeah. But honestly, I love it. And I think that's why they didn't call it purple. They called it indigo, I think is what the official term is for the console. But I love the purple GameCube. I think it's the best color Nintendo's ever produced. And I wish they would produce that color. Like I went out and got a Switch Lite, which I don't need because it's GameCube purple. That's how much I love the purple GameCube. Also, I have the same color Game Boy Advance. Dude, purple for consoles is just, what do the kids say these days? Lit AF? No, I'm never saying that again. Not saying that ever again. Felt so wrong.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's like pretty iconic. But like at the time, I hated it. You know, I was like 15 years old, a high school kid, and I was like, I don't want this like purple looking lunchbox thing hanging out by my TV. So I don't know. I love it now, but back then I was like, yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing too, though. You grow to love these things. Like, I mean, remember Wind Waker? Nobody liked Wind Waker at the time, right? And now everybody loves Wind Waker. So,
but what's interesting though is that it did launch with black. Like there were two, so it's kind of weird that like to me it's interesting that this Nintendo exec would even like talk about this type of thing as if it were something that never actually happened. The whole, I read the interview reads very strange because it like he almost talks about it as if it's like it got shot down and they had to like fight for it to come back later on in the life, and like the GameCube wasn't doing well, but like in reality it launched with that. And Silver came out I think a little bit later, but not much later, because like I had a jet black, which was the color GameCube, and I don't even know, because I was a kid, I don't know if I got jet black because my parents thought that I would like that more, or if that was what was available. I don't know, but like I didn't actually even realize that it was available in purple for a long time.
Yeah, I think the silver one was the one that came out with Metroid Prime, because I remember Metroid Prime was packed in with it, which was cool.
Nice.
It's funny that you say that, because I didn't know that there were other colors for a really long time. Like, because I had a purple one and, you know, the purple controller and everything. And my grandpa was the one that bought it. So I didn't like go into the game stores or whatever and see all the different whatever they had. And then I went to a friend's house one time and they had a silver one. And I was like so shocked, because I was like, where did you get that? Is that like stickers on it? Like, did you paint it? And they're like, no, I bought it. Like, yeah, it's pretty iconic, and I still can't imagine it any other color.
And wasn't that, I think Corey, I think you brought this up, but wasn't that like the whole discussion around the newest Switch Lite color where people were like, it's Game Boy Advance and GameCube purple, or
Yeah.
no, it's blue?
Yeah, the box says blue. I like the box literally says blue, and I've set it next to my GameCube, and it's like one shade darker than the GameCube, but it's essentially the same color.
Yeah.
It's not blue. It's look, my Xbox controller is sitting right here. That's blue. Okay.
That's blue.
This is blue. You want to tell me that this guy right here is blue? Just
It is definitely a different shade. It looks a lot darker. It looks a lot more purple hued.
yeah.
And I also think it's interesting that it was such a fight, like you had mentioned earlier as well, because like the SNES had purple on it, and that was only in America. All the other places got the cooler looking console. And then the Game Boy Advance had the Game Boy Advance was purple, and
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy
the
Color
Game Boy
had a
Color.
purple.
Two
Yeah,
purple. They
it's
had that translucent
strange.
purple.
They did, yeah.
is
The like
cool.
atomic, I think, is what
Yeah.
they called it. Atomic
Okay.
purple.
Okay.
I'm just saying it. Just dropping facts, man.
I remember. So I have the atomic purple Game Boy Color, and I was so mad because I had it for about a month, and we were sitting in my parents' car, and I was getting ready to play it, and I put it on the floor. I put it on the floor to put my seatbelt on and shut the door, and my cousin sits in the car next to me, and she has a magazine rack, and she slams it down on the floor, and there's a big, like, it's not my screen isn't really cracked, but there is a scratch in my screen that's probably like an inch long, and I'm like, oh no, not my Game Boy, you suck.
It's not your cousin anymore.
Good
All right.
times.
Anybody else want to follow up? Any final thoughts on that, or are we good to move to the next one?
Purple GameCube is best GameCube.
Purple GameCube is best GameCube. And kind of speaking of GameCube, in a shocking tweet earlier this week, Nintendo and Panda Global Partners announced that they're partnering up for the official Super Smash Bros. Championship circuit in 2022. Even more shocking about this is that they acknowledged Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it's actually going to be part of this tournament alongside Smash Bros. Ultimate. Aside from this announcement, we don't know much info yet. How do you guys feel about this, and would it be something you'd consider trying? This really just kind of feels like something that happened in the wake of Sony buying Evo. But, you know, the fact that they acknowledged Melee in this is kind of just mind-blowing to me. What do you guys think about this?
I think that the Panda Global Partners, like when I saw the story, like I think they announced their partnership with them over the summer, but there wasn't any other details, and we just kind of assumed that Smash and Splatoon would be involved because they're like a quote unquote family friendly tournament runner type business. That's what they do. That's one one leg of their business, and so it makes sense for Nintendo to partner with someone like this. You know, I think Splatoon 3 will probably be the next kind of bigger game that flows into this, I guess, but the fact that they're acknowledging Melee is huge because remember they were so adamant for so long when Smash Brothers was part of Evo. They were like, Melee is a side thing. If you want to do your own Melee tournament, go ahead, but we're not going to be a part of it. We're not going to acknowledge that you guys are running it. Like, we're focused on Smash Ultimate, or we're focused on Smash 4 when the Wii U was kind of the console. I was going to say the big thing, but we all know how it was not. And look, I love my Wii U. I think it's Nintendo's best console in terms of library, but we have to face the facts here. It was not. It was not. Anyways, the fact that they're acknowledging Melee and really putting an effort behind that community now is I think it's a big step for Nintendo as a company, you know, kind of acknowledging that this was the thing that kind of kicked off this. I think Melee is definitely the game that made Smash Brothers popular and made Ultimate possible, and that's why they're acknowledging it.
Nice. How about you, Jacob?
I think it's really cool. I I feel like the main reason is because of at the time they were just focused on marketing their newer products, and I think because Smash Ultimate is done at this point, and they're like, obviously they're still going to be pushing for sales, but they're not. There's not like really any big marketing push to get behind anymore, other than just like, hey, buy this game. I think that brings them into a realm of being able to say, yeah, you can play the older games as well. I also feel like I'm hopeful that Nintendo had to have this conversation, or rather, I'm hopeful that Panda brought the conversation to Nintendo, and Nintendo had to like realize that their aggression against esports caused them to lose a little bit of headway in that realm. Um, because they are very, very like anti esport. Even they're like even their most competitive games, like I think Splatoon, I think the only thing that was really doing Splatoon tournaments was Nintendo. And so they really need to like have other people push that beyond what just Nintendo is capable of promoting. Um, but I will say that it at the same time, it doesn't totally surprise me because Panda's not trying to play Melee with mods. They're not trying to play Melee with a fan-made netcode. They're playing the base game of Melee at what I assume is locals. So people have to show up with their not with their GameCube, but with their GameCube controller, all that jazz, and they're going to run Melee as Melee was intended. And I wouldn't be totally surprised if we saw like two versions of the tournament where there was like how Nintendo calls it, for fun and for glory, where there's a tournament with items on and all the craziness, and then there's a tournament with just like tryhards. In regards to actually competing in it, though, I don't think I would ever compete in a Smash Brothers tournament because, like a lot of competitive communities, it just seems there's a lot of outliers that aren't this, but every day I hear something toxic about the Smash Brothers community, and so it's just not a place I want to put myself in.
I'd want to try playing in one time. I know I would get absolutely destroyed, but I think it would be fun trying to play in a tournament. Lulu, you got anything on this one?
Nothing can really be said by me that hasn't already been said. I think that it's cool. In regards to actually going and participating, I don't think that I would, because I do not do well with Smash. So yeah, I'll pass on that.
All right. All right, let's move on to the next one. Kirby and the Forgotten Land has been rated for the Nintendo Switch. We've now seen the rating, the box art, and some gameplay of the pink puffball and his new adventure. How close do you guys think we are to a release date, and are you looking forward to this game? Kick it off, Lulu.
I am very much looking forward to this game. So I've only played one Kirby game before, and it was Kirby's Dream Course.
Nice.
But I've seen the other ones played quite a bit, and it looks really fun. And just this being like the first like 3D Kirby game, it looks so pretty and it looks so cute, and I'm so excited to play it. I'm definitely getting it. As far as how long it's going to take for the release, I don't know. I'm hoping sometime in spring maybe, but I'm not sure. I don't know how to gauge that.
I think we're sooner than we think with that one. What do you think, Corey?
I think it might be coming in January. Like, I think we're going to get a release date at the Game Awards. Like, just like a small thing. I think Nintendo's going to show big at the Game Awards.
You think they'd stack Kirby and Pokemon in the same month?
Yep. I mean, I think... that's a good point. Now I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna switch gears here. Okay, so Kirby and Yoshi's Crafted World kind of came out in that end of March area. I think that's where we're gonna see it. It's gonna be their March game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their first quarter sales.
Yeah, first spring. Yeah. It'll be
Nice.
their last big game before their fiscal year ends. Kirby sells gangbusters, even though we kind of make fun of it sometimes because he's Kirby, right? He still sells a bajillion copies. Next to Mario and, the Smash and Mario Kart, I think Kirby is like their second or third biggest selling character because of how kid friendly he is. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it seems like a good direction change for the game too, doing it in like that 3D style.
yeah, and I think that's going to do wonders for people like us who like, oh, well, the side-scrolling Kirbys are like, they're really easy, right? The last interesting one for me, I think, was on the Wii U was Rainbow Curse, where you had to draw the path on the tablet and kind of move Kirby through the world that way. But moving him into 3D, kind of in a Mario-esque platformer, and giving Kirby all kinds of abilities by swallowing the enemies, obviously, and doing cool things is like that entices me to be like, okay, this looks like a cool platformer. It might be easier than Mario, but like I'm fine with that. It's something my kid could probably watch me play sometimes, That's exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob? Are you looking forward to this?
Oh, absolutely. I adore Kirby with all part of my being. It's going to come out in spring. When they announced the game originally, they said that it was a spring release, so that's somewhere between I think like March and July. No. Yeah, somewhere between March and July, like July 1st, is when it's going to be coming out. I honestly think this is coming out in March. I don't think it's going to wait till the middle of spring. I think they're going to want to keep a momentum. And I think based off of what we've heard about what's coming in 2022, their momentum is going to start with Legends Arceus. They're going to have a like smaller title in February, immediately into Kirby title on March, and then just every month again, like we've gotten in between. It seems like every other year, we get like those big releases every single month.
This year's 2022 is so stacked for Nintendo too. Like there's so much first party stuff. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We got Advance Wars coming in February.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. And Splatoon 3. We got Breath of the Wild 2.
Bayonetta
3. Yep.
Supposedly Metroid Prime 4, maybe. Metroid
I doubt that.
Prime
Dan,
trilogy,
you're
I don't
forgetting the
know.
most important game, Mario plus Rabbids 2.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God,
Yes, I
yeah,
did
that's
forget
actually-
about that. Oh, I can't wait for that game.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah, no, their 2022 is absolutely stacked. So I feel like this has to come in March. And it's like, from what they showed, it looks like they're far along, I think. I don't think that's like the only world they had done. I think they probably are just doing that thing where they're showing us bit by bit, and inevitably they'll show too much. But yeah, no, that trailer looked so good. It's really exciting to see Kirby enter a 3D space finally. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of classic 3D platformer tropes they use. I'm kind of wondering if Kirby's going to have like a food-based collectathon sort of thing where he's like picking up all sorts of different candies and sweets and stuff, like hidden sweets in the areas. No, yeah, I'm very, very excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Cool. All right. Anybody have final thoughts on Kirby? All right, we'll move on. Next up, we just got a couple of headlines. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is getting free costumes. They kind of just showed SpongeBob with like a beer helmet on or something, and a couple of other characters. I was looking forward to this game. I never played it. And then the Wii U, on its 9th anniversary, receives a new game called Captain U. This is an indie game that's coming out for about $4.99. This will probably be the last Wii U game. So good to see that, I guess. And that's it for the news. So Corey, back to you.
Whoa, I don't get to talk about Captain U?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm just kidding. It looks really bad. I'm just have you seen it? Did you watch the trailer for it?
I did.
It looks It looks like a game somebody made in about 6 weeks to say, "Hey, I made the last Wii U game."
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It looks like a game called Captain U.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, thank you, Dan, for delivering the news. We're gonna get into our main topic of the week in docked mode. The Wii U, or the Wii, sorry, got the Wii U on my mind. I like the Wii U. The Wii turned 15 years old on Saturday to celebrate. Let's look back on our experiences with the Wii, our favorite games, and what we liked and what we didn't like. Things to consider talking about. I don't think I'm supposed to read that part. Sorry. Wow. This is like the teleprompter in Anchorman where he starts reading stuff that he's not supposed to read. Great film.
Side camera.
So the Wii. So a lot of people were talking about Xbox turning 20 this year. That I think everybody just kind of forgot that the Wii turned 15, which was one of the most important consoles of all time. It may not be your favorite Nintendo console. I mean, you know, it's not my favorite Nintendo console, but you cannot deny the importance of the strategy of the Wii, how important the motion controls were, how important like selling that console, like when the Xbox and PlayStation were like $400, $500, $600 at the time, and the Wii came out at what, $249, I think. Selling it at a cheaper price point with simple controls, getting everybody involved, getting the pack-in game with Wii Sports. Like Wii Sports was an awesome pack-in game. So what are your guys' experiences with the Wii? Lulu, we're gonna go your way first, since you're our esteemed guest.
Yeah, so I didn't have that many games on the Wii, but the ones I had I really, really loved. Honestly, I really, really liked the like Wii Sports. I loved bowling on it. It was so fun. Twilight Princess, I'm like back and forth because I enjoy that it came out for the Wii, but I much prefer the GameCube version. My favorite game though, yes, my favorite game though that was on the Wii is My Sims. It's like a mix between The Sims and Animal Crossing, and it's so cute, and I loved it so much that I recently got it again for my PC. So I replayed through it, but I really, really loved the Wii. When it comes to like Skyward Sword, I could have done without only motion controls. But that is a big part of Wii, and it was a big change, like being able to control, you know, the sword and link with your nunchuck and the Wiimote. So I don't know. I really enjoyed my Wii, but like, you know, you've said it's not my favorite console.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Wii was like the Wii bowling really brought a lot of people together. You know, like the Wii Sports packing that in was such a huge win for them. I mean, they could have sold that for $50 or $60, right? Like they could have just done that, and I think everybody would have. I mean, it wouldn't have obviously sold as many copies or had as many copies in the hand, but I think people would have bought it and been super fun with it, right? So,
bringing it to like a conversation on today, do you think that a game like 1-2 Switch would have done better if it was a pack-in with the Switch like Wii Sports was?
Absolutely.
Because I can't imagine, as great as Wii Sports is, I do not see people jumping all over that game and praising it if it was $50 to $60.
No, it could have been like a $30 title though, I think. Yeah. Like I still think the seminal game for the Switch at launch was Snipper Clips. I think that was the best way to show off what the Switch could do. Yeah, okay, you can milk the cow and, you know, roll the balls around in the box, right, on 1-2 Switch. By the way, my nephews love 1-2 Switch, and I'm really happy that they love 1-2 Switch, but $50 for that just not. My nephews love the sword catching game, though. They think it's hilarious, and every time they hit each other but don't hit each other, they think it's hilarious. They think it's the best game. Granted, my nephew's only 8, but he said that 1-2 Switch is his favorite Switch game.
That's awesome.
And he owns Mario Kart. I want to put that out there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But no, I don't think Wii Sports would have been talked about. I think it would have been like, if you're talking about the demonstrating what the Wii could have done, I think Wii Sports still would have been in the conversation, but I don't think it would have been as beloved or praised as it is now. I'm still waiting on them to port Wii Sports Club to the Switch, because they ported it to the Wii U, and it has that really cool gamepad thing where, like, if you're golfing, the ball shows up on the screen if you put it on the floor, and like it does a couple extra things. But yeah, I think Wii Sports is just phenomenal.
I gotta disagree with you guys. I think it absolutely would have been the same thing. Like, it was, Wii Sports was the game that brought the casual gamers to buy a Wii, because Wii bowling, you saw it everywhere. Like, I mean, I was in college when it came out, so like everybody literally bought a Wii just to play Wii bowling. And it was one of those things that just like it had those legs, and it had what brought the people in.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Wii
don't
bowling
see any
replaced
other game
Halo
that did
2
that.
for us. Like, in our common room, like I was talking about this on Arsenal X the other day, where my original Xbox never turned off because so many people were playing Halo 2 at any given moment. Like, we had to put a towel down on the table because my Xbox was getting so hot that it was like melting the finish on the wooden table, that we had to put a towel down because it was getting so hot. That's how much it was on. And the day I got my Wii and brought it back to the dorm rooms for college, like, people were lining up in our dorm rooms to play Wii. We're lining up to play Wii bowling. It was crazy.
Yeah, like Wii bowling was just this, because motion controls are never a thing before, right? And this is what kind of like just made motion controls work. There was so many Wii games out there that really shoved the motion controls just down your throat the whole game. It felt so forced. Skyward Sword is a perfect example. Like, where it just really felt forced throughout the whole game, or it just flat out didn't work. But the one game that like really, really it hit hard was Wii Sports. And I guarantee you everybody still would have bought that if it was $40-$50 outside of it.
I mean, like, it's fine. We agree to disagree, but I really do disagree. I don't think the casual consumer would have bought a Wii and then been like, I'm going to pay an extra $60, 50, 45, whatever for Wii Sports. I think the reason Wii Sports did so well is because it was the pack-in, because you could buy just a Wii, take it home, and you'd have fun. Like, you'd have game to play.
But what would the casual gamer buy over Wii Sports?
I'm saying that, like, I don't think the Wii would have been as successful without Wii Sports.
That initial launch. Yeah, I agree with you, Jacob.
Yeah, like, I don't think the Wii, if and they talk about this a lot of people talk about this, that the Wii, that what's so intuitive about the Wii is the motion controls, and like, gimmick or not, it worked well, because you could go to your grandparents' house at Christmas and say, hey, check out this cool game, it's tennis, and they go, well, how do I play? And you play tennis, you swing a tennis racket. Grandma, it's bowling, you bowl a ball. Like, it works, and it makes sense, and it's easy to understand. And the Wiimote is genius because it's a remote. It's the same thing that all these casual people that sit on their couch all day flicking through channels, they know what a remote is. They know how this works. Like, very, very genius design.
Do you remember what a pain in the ass it was to like hook up your Wiimote to a new Switch? It was so annoying. I mean, to a Wii.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, is that possible?
Whoa! Real Skyward Sword. Wait till that, though, they bring back the Wii remote for Wii Virtual Console or Switch Online, and you have to buy new Wii remotes because your old ones won't work. But they'll only sell you one for $50, and the nunchuck is separate.
Oh my gosh. and you also have to pay for the little strap that it comes with too. But no, like I don't want to get too caught up on the Wii Sports thing. But I really have to believe that that was a big factor into why the Wii was successful, is because it was packed in. And I kind of, it's weird that they haven't done that since. It's weird that they've avoided pack-in game. Like, dear Lord, this is the fourth year that Mario Kart is the Black Friday bundle deal. Just start selling it with the Switch, man. Like, don't make it a deal. Just make it the Switch. You just get Mario Kart with the Switch. It will, like, that is the push they need to keep selling consoles month over month.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Wii Sports, like, so my dad is the person who got me into video games, right? I remember sitting at home on his bedroom floor while he was hooking up an Atari 2600, right? And like we would play like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Kaboom and stuff like that. And he hasn't played video games since he brought home that Atari and we played, right? Like when we got an NES, it was over. You know, like it just, I don't know what happened. Maybe he just got disinterested. I don't know. But when we got an NES and a Sega Genesis and stuff, he just became disinterested. And the first time my dad and I played video games together, after us sitting on their bedroom floor at playing Kaboom, was when the Wii came out. And we played golf, and we played tennis, and we played bowling. And that was the first time, and I will always remember that moment because my dad kicked my butt in golf. Because my dad is like a really great golfer, you know, especially when he was younger. And this was a way for him to like reconnect with that passion. Because like, I mean, my dad's older, and I know the Wii, like, 15 years ago, my dad was younger then, but like my dad's a little bit older, didn't really get to go out and do golf anymore because, you know, he had me to take care of. And when you're a parent, you sacrifice certain things to, you know, take care of your children. Supposedly, I don't know. I buy way too much crap that my kids can break, but they tell me that people sacrifice things to take care of their kids. But that was the first time like my dad and I like really connected through something that he loved mixed with something that I loved. And it was just like that moment is really going to stick with me forever, especially the fact that he beat me at golf by, you know, a lot. But so the Wii was really special in that way too for me.
Yeah, it was special in a sense for me too, where I bought it with my girlfriend at the time, and then we broke up and I got to keep it. So it was like, you know, I got to keep my Wii and I got to leave her behind. It was great.
The Wii is also the only console, like the only Nintendo console since the Nintendo 64 that I've gotten at launch that I had to replace. It's the only console that I have that isn't my launch Nintendo console, because my original Wii melted in a house fire. Well, an apartment fire. Oh my God. But yeah. So it's okay. I have one of the cool Mario Red ones now.
Very fun. I think I've told this story before on Pow Block, but all of the Mario Red consoles got stolen from my GameStop.
What?
So,
wait, you've never told that story, at least when I've been on.
I talked about it on EXP Cast. We'll talk about it later.
No, you brought it up. You have to talk about it now.
Yeah, you can't leave us. You can't leave this with this.
Basically, there was an armed robbery at a midnight launch for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood at my GameStop that I was a part of. I was not robbing. I was being robbed. And they snagged like all of the hit items, and that at the time the hit item for the Nintendo was the red Wii and the red Mario themed DS, and they swiped all of them. It gets more interesting because like at one point I had guns held to my head. It was a fun time. But I can't go too much into it because I start getting all jittery because I never got therapy for it.
Yeah, that's scary.
But I did want to jump in because so y'all have mentioned y'all's favorite Wii games, and I think I'm gonna be like the weird little indie kid, except it's not indie. In that like, so my favorite Wii titles. First off, a couple of honorable mentions, I'll say. to some people in the chat. Grayson Morales said Wario Land Shake It, Elbits, and Zack and Wiki's Adventure are some of his favorite underrated Wii games.
Zack and Wiki, baby. Zack and Wiki.
Amazing. Rebellity and Crispy Nintendo mentioned Super Paper Mario and Harvest Moon Animal Parade. And then we had a lot of people chime in that My Sims was also a big hit for them. Wii Sports Resort, we can't forget that one. But have y'all ever heard of a little game called Dewey's Adventure?
No.
Wait, what?
Dewey's Adventure. So Dewey's Adventure was it was a motion control style game where you played as a drop of rain, and the buttons on the Wii remote controlled the weather. And so like if you made it cold, he turned into a little icicle that like slid around the stage. And if you made it hot, he turned into a little thundercloud that like flew around the stage. It was a very, very adorable little puzzle game. Kind of difficult to find nowadays because I don't think a lot of copies were sold. But oh my God, if you ever have a chance to break out Dewey's Adventure, it's fantastic. There's also Kororimpa Marble Mania, which was a launch title for the Switch. That game is an excellent game if you're into like the Super Monkey Ball style games. It's like a marble rolling game that you move the stage around as with the Wii remote. And then lest we forget Battalion Wars 2. Because Battalion Wars 2 was the coolest thing that I've ever played because I love Advanced Wars. And then they made Battalion Wars on the GameCube and Battalion Wars 2. And I never beat it because I was obsessed with always like I would kill off the rest of my army and be like, I'm a single lone soldier surviving against the battalion. And it never worked because the whole point was to build like a giant army of people. But no, yeah, Dewey's Adventure. I highly, highly recommend that y'all check out Dewey's Adventure.
Man, I'm watching the trailer for it right now. It's like...
It's adorable.
It is. This shark boss that they're showing is kind of like... I just kind of want to pet him. I don't want to hurt him. I just want to give him a hug.
Yeah, it did have some... It did have some games like I played for the first time that got me into some series. Like Xenoblade was their first one was on Wii, and I loved that game. Like I actually played through it a couple times on the Wii. And then I also played my first Fire Emblem game on that one as well. And I actually think this is probably a hot take, but it seems pretty popular in our chat tonight. But Super Paper Mario is my favorite Paper Mario game. And yeah, I
You're the
loved
problem.
that game too.
No. Super Paper Mario is excellent. Get over yourselves in 64 and GameCube Paper Mario lovers.
I love those two like so much, but like Super Paper Mario is just so good. And it like still had all that charm that the older ones had, but it like actually had a gimmick that worked, going like switching the sides. So that was cool. And it was the first I played Fez on that game, on that system too, and Fez was a blast as well.
Nice.
Oh my God! Wait, Fez?
Yeah, Fez was on the WiiWare store.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's also where I played Mega Man 9 and sucked at it.
And it's and one thing I just have to mention, like, how have we not talked about like any of the menu music or the Wii weather?
Oh,
we vote.
Started the conversation of like, what do we wish would come to the Switch? I want Mii's to come back in a way that they were on the Wii. I love Mii's.
Can we just talk about like, okay, so the Wii, I know we're talking about the Wii, but the Wii U had the Miiverse stuff really going, right? Like, how amazing if you put the Miiverse and Mii's on a console like the Switch where that's thriving, and Nintendo could have had their own social media platform on the Switch and just made it awesome. But no,
and this isn't Wii related, but why doesn't this thing have Street Pass?
Right?
Yes.
Why is the thing that's touted as the console that you can take on the go, why doesn't it have Street Pass? So frustrating. Sorry. Matt. And the Wii Everybody Votes channel, did y'all ever participate in that?
Yes, it
I
was so
love
great.
I loved Everybody Votes. I loved Super Mario Galaxy. Like that was the first game that I ever had where they like mailed you a little thing and that little like oh my God, the Wii did so much right. The Wii had such a great had really creative library, had an excellent way of playing games, brought in the casual and the hardcore gamers. Like it's such a good system and I think it does. I think it's like weirdly dropped lower than it should be on like the totem pole of classic Nintendo systems.
Yeah, they even brought back like the side-scrolling Donkey Kong for that too, and that game, Donkey Kong Country Returns, was awesome.
And
Epic.
we also got a sequel to Sin and Punishment, right?
Oh,
like,
that's right. That's right.
Man, we got so many good RPGs on that system too. Like I know you brought up Xenoblade, Dan, but we got like The Last Story.
The Last Story was
which
so
was
good
awesome.
too.
We got Pandora's Tower, which was almost like a Souls game before Souls games were invented. It was like
Both of those games are part of that Project Rainfall, right?
Yeah, along with
Nice.
Xenoblade. Yeah, it was really awesome. We got that weird Crystal Chronicles spinoff that was really good. The Crystal Bears, I think it was called, which was really good. Man, now that
GoldenEye came back.
yeah, GoldenEye.
Oh, that's right.
And it came with the Golden Pro controller if you didn't want to use the Wii remote. Like that was cool. Man, the Wii. Red Steel 2. We're going to forget Red Steel 1 existed, but Red Steel 2 was pretty cool. Rayman
Heroes.
Origins. I think
Oh,
debuted
how
on
about Punch Out too?
we got
oh
Punch
my
Out.
God,
Punch Out was
Punch
in
Out
there,
came back.
yeah.
Raving Rabbids started on the Wii.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, dude. This is what I'm talking about. The Wii is such a good system and no one recognizes it. Everyone's always like the SNES, the N64, Ocarina of Time. No, the Wii. Oh, it's so good, man. It's literally, hold on. It's right here. It's sitting on my desk right next to my Switch dock. Like, that's how much I enjoy this system.
Plus, it plays all the GameCube games.
It does.
And it has
That's right.
holes in the back for your GameCube controller.
Yes. And if you were weirdly lucky, some of them played DVDs. Oh my God, the Wii was so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm
Metroid
like
Prime 3.
starting to realize how stacked it was now. I'm like, wow.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you could say that about every console too, right? I mean, like you look at the Wii U and like you're like, oh man, the Wii U sucks. But like, you look how stacked that console is. I know we're talking about the Wii. The Wii U, for example, has the 3 best Zelda games on it natively: Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild. That's it. Has the best 3D Mario game in Mario 3D World. Has Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Has Pikmin 3. Has Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Arguably the best Xenoblade game in Xenoblade Chronicles X. It has a wonderful
Shame
101.
I haven't played that.
Oh my gosh, dude. I hope it comes to Wii, or I hope it comes to Switch because that game is amazing. It has the best Assassin's Creed. It has great initial third-party support in Darksiders and Assassin's Creed 3 and 4.
Got my Wii right here.
Wow, mine's downstairs in a box. So I just want to give a shout out to the Wii U while we're shouting out underrated Nintendo consoles. Okay, shout out. Wii is also good. Twilight Princess.
Shout out to the Virtual Boy. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Wario World for Virtual.
It also introduced the Virtual Console to us, so we have the Wii to thank for that too. And I was very happy to play Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6 on my Wii.
Yeah, I have so many Virtual Console games.
Demands started on the Wii. Isn't that funny? Like, everyone's like, just give me back the ability to buy individual games. That started on the Wii. You could buy individual games for a very weird price point that like ended up making you spend more money overall. So like that's kind of gross, but whatever. Oh my God, it's so good, man. It's such a good system.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing it back with the OLED because they're bringing back the white.
I know the white is so. It looks it's like a matte white too. It makes it look even better. Don't get me wrong, the glossy white of the Wii was cool, but the matte white is where it's at. So, anybody else have any, love they want to usher in towards the Wii before we move on to playing with power?
I just want to say I love that Link's crossbow training came out for the Wii. It's great.
There's a very cool story behind that Link's crossbow training, where it was actually supposed to be like the sequel to Twilight Princess that like never happened.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Isn't that what inspired the like multiplayer Zelda game in the Wii U's Nintendo World thing?
Battle Quest, on Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but Battle Quest is a great game.
Wait, there was supposed to be a sequel to Twilight Princess?
Yeah. It was like, so they had the idea of making a sequel to Twilight Princess. They pitched it to the higher ups in Nintendo, and I think it was Miyamoto that like actually wanted to make it strictly for the gun, and it ended up turning into this just like side quest thing, and he kind of shot down like all these ideas and concepts and didn't want to put all of his stock back into a new game.
Oh man,
there's more to it, but I'm not remembering it fully, but that was the gist of it.
Oh man, Twilight Princess, that's a special game. I know a lot of people don't care for it, but
oh, it's my favorite.
It's also my favorite.
It's top three. My top three juggle all the time. Asked me 2 months ago, I would have said Twilight Princess. Right now, it's Link's Awakening.
Should always be Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is always one or two.
The remake of Link's Awakening, by the way, on the OLED screen.
Great.
So good. I'm even playing it on the Game & Watch.
I will give this, and shout outs to Aaron in the chat. Twilight Princess gave us Midna, which is the best like sidekick character that Link has ever had.
Thank you.
It's
also,
she's so sassy. No, yeah, it's not.
Oh, she's so sassy.
There's like Midna, and then like 30 steps down is I guess Navi.
No,
the next like most
relatable.
I think who else? Who
Fee.
else? Oh, King of the Red Lions. No, Fee's below. Fee's below
King of the Red Lions is 2. Fee is last, or Fi.
Yeah. Foe or fum.
I need to finish Skyward Sword. I need to do that.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
My wife.
Not my favorite Zelda game, but you have to see the ending.
My wife appeared and then she disappeared.
She did, yeah.
Just like, oh, you talking about Midna?
Oh. She doesn't know who Midna is. She barely knows who Zelda is.
Zelda's the blonde-haired dude that you play as.
Yeah, I mean, probably. No, I mean, yeah. All right, we're going to get into playing with power. Playing with power!
Woo!
I got to do the Ed punch. That kind of like, man, playing sports and tearing the shoulder when you punch.
Oh, yeah.
No. Anyways, this is where we talk about what we've been playing. By the way, if you are new here, hi, welcome.
Follow, subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Lulu, we're going to start with you. What are you playing?
Happy Home Paradise, the Animal Crossing DLC. Oh, and I just got Metroid Dread, so I've been playing that too. It's been great.
Ooh.
Metroid Dread. Man, we had a discussion about that on the Boss Rush podcast a couple weeks ago because Metroid makes me feel dumb. And that's I can't say anything else. It just makes me feel dumb. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of Metroidvania games, but when I go to play them and I get so lost because I just look at the map, I just stare at the map and I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing?
Yeah,
just wander aimlessly.
Yeah. So, is that it?
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
How far have you gotten in Metroid Dread?
I actually just bought it like 2 or 3 days ago. So I haven't got very far. I did the demo first, and then I didn't finish the demo. I was just like, I like this so much, I'm gonna just buy it. So I did that, because the only other Metroid game I've played was Metroid Prime on the GameCube. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it, and I liked it so much that I got it. And like with Animal Crossing, I've already finished the main part of the DLC, so I'm kind of on the burnout with it.
It's fair.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Fair. Dan, what are you playing? Shin Megami Tensei still? Just kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei a lot. The game is just like incredible. I love the atmosphere of it, the music, the art style. The battles are really, really tough. It's just kind of, it feels good to be challenged a little bit. Like, I haven't really played a JRPG that's been like this challenging in a long time. So like, you really have to, even in random encounters, you have to go in kind of prepared. You have to strategize. You have to know who you're bringing in. You have to know what you're doing with them. So that game's been really cool. I am right at the end of Ocarina of Time. I'm in the Spirit Temple, so I'm getting really close to that. Oh my god, is this game so much fun? I missed it. Link's Awakening, I'm also playing intermittently. I'm on the third temple of that one. Just an amazing game. And then I probably have about 25 more puzzles to do to finish Picross S3, and then I will move on to Picross S5, which would be my last Picross that I haven't completed for Switch.
Fun.
So much Picross, not enough time.
Not. Wow. Jacob, what are you playing?
Yeah, so I played Pokemon Shining Pearl for 29 hours and 45 minutes, and then I went to bed for 9 hours, and then I woke up and played Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for like another 10 hours off and on.
Oh my god.
And then today, during my 30-minute lunch break, I played Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So that's what I've been doing. Very versatile on this.
Are you enjoying it at least? Are you loving it? Are you like...
I have one complaint with the game. I've one complaint, which is old school Pokemon games were on a grid-based system. You walked around up, down, left, right. That's it. There's no diagonal. 3D games have added that diagonal, but it makes sense because it's in 3D. This is still on a grid-based system, but they allow you to move diagonally, and what that results in is a lot of bonk. Like, you'll be running, and there'll be like a wall, and you'll be like, oh, I'll just go around the wall. And you'll be like 30 pixels left of the wall, but your character will be like, nope, I'm slightly like the elbow pixel is on that grid mark, so I'm bonking. And you have to like go weirdly out of your way to go around the wall. I kind of just wish they had kept the grid system, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's like, over my time playing it, I probably spent like 10 minutes of all of my time combined bonking on stuff. So that's not a big deal, but it is annoying. Yeah.
It's fun. Every time somebody talks about Pokemon, I want to pick one up, and I know how I'm gonna be when I pick it up, and then it's just gonna sit there and I'm gonna stare at it. I'm like, I don't understand, like what we said earlier. None of these characters are familiar. I just want my, 25-year-old team back.
Yeah, but listen, y'all stay tuned to Boss Rush on YouTube, Boss Rush Network on YouTube for our very own Daniel Murphy's All Bidoof run.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be something special.
All Bidoof run.
Oh yeah, God Doof.
Yeah,
legend.
I mean, I just don't really see a purpose in using any other Pokemon. So
I mean, that's a fair point. So, well, I guess it's my turn. So, I got this little guy here, this beautiful OLED Switch. I gotta say, it feels nicer than a normal Switch. Like, it feels like a premium piece of tech in your hand. Not that the Switch didn't, like the normal Switch definitely feels a lot better than like the Wii U tablet, because that just felt like a Fisher Price toy. But this just feels nice to hold. I like the weird textured finish. Like it just has this texture that's different than the Switch. Maybe my Switch is just old and my original Switch had this and it just rubbed off because it's 5 years old at this point. But it just feels nice to hold. So I've been checking out some games that are vibrant, as you would say. I played a little bit of Tetris Effect, which is really nice on this screen. That was the first game I loaded up, and just because like obviously the blacks and the colors would probably pop all nice and stuff. It looks amazing. Tetris Effect looks amazing on this thing. I also popped in Breath of the Wild and ran around a little bit. That game, I really hope in Breath of the Wild 2, like I love the art style and I love the art direction, I love the colors and stuff. Sometimes it looks a little faded. Like the colors just look a little bit faded, and I hope that Breath of the Wild 2 is a little bit more vibrant, I guess you would say. But man, Breath of the Wild, what a game. That game, I ran around for 10 minutes and I literally thought about starting a new game.
It happens every time.
I know. It does. And I look at my thing. I'm like, no, you have all the shrines, you have all the Korok seeds, you have all the pictures. You stop it right now. You stop thinking that right now. But then I'm like, there's always master mode. And then I get too scared because I know it's going to be way too hard.
It's insanely difficult, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to jump in front of you, Corey.
That's fair.
So isn't it interesting? I was thinking about this when Lulu was talking about Metroid Dread. There's a lot of games on the Switch that are just fun to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just fun to run around in. Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Metroid Dread. It's just fun to run around as Samus or Link or Mario.
Mm-hmm. Xenoblade 2.
Xenoblade, yeah, Xenoblade. For what little I've played of it, it's cool playing as Rex. Like it's weird. They've designed such amazing worlds. And like the gameplay is so crisp on them that it just feels good, and I'm here for it.
I mean, in terms of Xenoblade and Breath of the Wild, you have to give credit to Monolith Soft.
Yeah,
and I obviously Xenoblade Definitive Edition as well. Like, man. By the way, are we gonna see their new game at Game Awards?
No.
Ooh, I hope so.
I'm saying no.
Because I don't know. I mean,
you shut your mouth.
They've been pretty transparent about like working on a new game. Like they're not hiding it.
I know.
So it's got to come at some point.
But I feel like Nintendo would hold that for their own announcement.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what I'm honestly hoping for from Game Awards? I hope that they announce that Waluigi is coming to Smash. I hope that they like
character.
Yeah, as like a hey, we're like actually done with it now. here's thank you for supporting it. You know, you get it for free if you bought the 2 packs. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay for them.
I am so happy Sora was the last character. Like,
yeah,
even though I'm not as big of a Kingdom Hearts fan as I was, when 2 came out, I am so happy that Sora was the last character. The strings they must have had to pull to get him. Oh, so happy.
Sorry about that. What else have you been playing?
No, you're cool. You're good. You're good. Interrupt me anytime you want, Jacob. That's a rule.
Always. I have plenty to say all the time. None of it matters.
I was trying to pick out the most colorful games. Mario Odyssey was also one. That game still looks incredible. I always forget, like, because you play Mario Kart and then you jump into maybe like Mario Party or something, or some of these Mario Golf where like the characters aren't as detailed and you just kind of like forget. But then you jump into Mario Odyssey and like his hair is wispy, his mustache has little imperfections, like you could see the denim on his on his overalls and his shirt, like you can see the texture on his shirt. Like the work they put into just designing Mario himself in that game is like incredibly detailed, and you can definitely tell the A-Team Nintendo versus like, I don't want to say like B teams, but like lesser teams, right? Or like outside help who don't know how to optimize their games for the systems, right? Like it's just Team Nintendo is top tier gaming at its finest. Mm-hmm. And even though I'm not a big 3D Mario fan, even running around as Mario in that world was like, man, I kind of want to play Mario Odyssey again. Even though I'm like, I should probably finish 3D World first because that game is the superior game in my opinion. But man, all these top tier Nintendo games, man.
So one game to check out. I know you've played the demo of it. Try Monster Hunter Stories 2 on the OLED. It looks so good. I know. I feel like that game was made for the OLED.
It's downloading right now. Like so like it was weird when I tried to transfer my information over from one Switch to the other, but I didn't have a memory card to do it. So I'm having to re-download everything onto the OLED, and it's just like, gosh, this is taking forever. But Monster Hunter Stories is on the list.
Yeah, that's a fun one to play on the OLED. It looks really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, it looked good on the regular one. I'm like, man, this game's going to look great.
Mm-hmm. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl also look really good on the OLED. Just, throwing that out there.
I'm starting to think it's just the screen and not the game choice. I'm just kidding. But that's kind of all I've been playing. I haven't really had a lot of time to play, especially because, like, since I host the Xbox show, I've been playing a lot of Forza and Halo. And Halo Infinite is incredible to play. It just feels like the natural evolution of what Halo should have been when 343 took over. And it's just, it feels good. The weapons feel good. Map design feels great. It feels like Halo, and that makes me really happy. So I don't need to say, I've been playing a lot of that in Guardians of the Galaxy as well, which is also very fun. That game is great, and I feel really bad for people who bought it on Switch because that version, at least when I played it, was not great. But I think that's enough for what I'm playing for now, and I think that's gonna wrap the show. A nice, tidy 90 minutes of Nintendo Pow Block. So
very nice.
I want to thank the chat for being so interactive. Remember, anybody in the chat, you can join us on Wednesday nights for Boss Rush Podcast or Arsenal X. Those chats are pretty quiet. I see the Nintendo Pow Bot chat popping all the time, and I'm like, got other shows. Come join us.
Follow Boss Rush Network on Twitch and Twitter. It's free to follow. Do it, you silly, silly people.
You can tell the live streamer of this group. No, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. If you want to listen to us live, you can check out Nintendo Pow Block every Monday night around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, depending on who the guests are and who the panel is. Lulu, thank you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate your time. You want to remind everybody where they can find you and where they can find your podcast?
Yeah, so first off, thanks for having me. You can find updates about my podcast on Twitter at The Gossip Stones, and you can also follow me at Lulu Shugaboo. And we put our podcast on Spreaker, so we just finished our season 1 finale, and you can catch up.
Awesome. I like your show a lot. I think it's great. I think everybody should go listen to it right after this. Since if you didn't know about it, now you do. So now you should go listen to it.
It's a pretty short episode, but Dan's there, so
yeah.
If you didn't get enough of me on Pow Block,
yeah, nobody can ever get enough of Dan. Dan, if they can't get enough of you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DCDM99, or you can find all of our articles on bossrush.net.
Nice. Jacob?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's Galutrad. And you know what? If you're on Twitter, at G Fuel Energy, I think is their at G Fuel. You search for them, you'll find them. And let them know that Galatrad needs his own affiliate code or something. Hit him up.
His own
Blow him
flavor.
up.
Screw the affiliate code. He needs
Dude,
a
I already
Galatrad
know.
flavor. Make it
Listen,
strawberry because he's allergic.
That would be awful. I can't even have my own flavor. It's whenever I get that because that's gonna happen. Whenever it happens, I already know what I'm calling it. It's gonna be called Otter Water.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Is it gonna be
great.
Is it gonna be blue? It's gonna be like
I hope
water?
so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we can get it to be.
That
blue.
is an amazing title.
Thank you.
I
It
love
just
it.
flows off the tongue, man. It's great.
Maybe you shouldn't even give that to G Fuel. You should just develop your own energy drink
This
and
is
call
my
it
own
Otter
energy.
Water.
Oh my god. Absolutely.
Ah.
Yes, and send DCD all of the Bidoof pictures that you ever could have ever.
Yes.
Yeah, please do. I haven't seen enough.
Please do.
Some people ask for dogs pics, animal pics. Dan asked for Bidoof.
Yes.
Sure do.
He wants to see your Bidoof. You can follow me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast, which you can find live every Sunday night or on your podcast service every Tuesday morning. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast every Wednesday night right here on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network. Remember, you can like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen to our podcasts. You can find all of our content on bossrush.net. Go there, follow, get the emails that tell you that when new articles go up. I'm very excited for the work that Dan and David have been doing with the website. Jacob, I know you've been helping with like the email stuff and some of the other stuff with them. I appreciate
Very little. I don't know why you keep me around. I don't do a whole lot, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate everyone that is doing stuff here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, and the Gossip Stones is also on Spotify and most major podcast sites. Check out the Gossip Stones.
Yeah, there'll be links
say
in the description of the show. Out
Check.
there.
Oh my God, YouTube throwback. Check the thing in the doodly doo. There you go.
Wow.